Hey, so what are some of the dark, secretive, juicy details that no one talks about online, on YouTube, anywhere about owning a franchise? Well, that's exactly what we're gonna dive into in this video. And so for my wife and I, there were a few key things that came up was, what if we make the wrong decision? What if owning a franchise is a huge mistake? What if we don't like it at all and we put and invested all of this money in and we're stuck? Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Tariq Johnson. I built a multi-million-dollar franchise business owning locations in California and in Florida. And in this video, we're gonna talk about some of the really juicy details about owning a franchise and how that impacts you as an individual, and whether you want to own a franchise, you want to own a business, or you're just looking to make a transition from your job and what you're doing now, then this video is for you. Make sure to stick around to the end, because what I'm going to share in this video is going to be so shocking and so revealing. And if you apply what's in this video, the course of your life and what your career and business looks like can be forever altered for the good. Now, real quick, if you're not familiar with my story, my wife and I, our first location in California, we built from scratch in a brand new shopping center. Took over $300,000 to get it open, and we got it profitable in less than 60 days. I wrote a 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. It's a 23-page PDF that you can read in less than an hour, and it guides you step by step on exactly how to own, buy, create, or start or grow any business in any industry and get it profitable or grow the profits in less than 60 days. You can get it for free at my website, tariqjohnson.com. You can just click the link down below if that's easier for you. Make sure you grab it. It's jam-packed full of value. Now, here, before we get started, I'm curious to know, drop me a comment and tell me, what worries you or scares you the most about owning a franchise or owning a business? Like, is it the money? Is it the money commitment that you have to put up and you're scared of risking that money and investing it into a business? Is it the time that it takes and that commitment? Is it managing staff? Is it doing something completely unknown and you've never had any experience in business? I'm really curious. So drop me a comment below and tell me what worries or scares you the most. Look, owning a franchise is a scary decision. It's a really terrifying decision. And a lot of stuff is going to come up for you as you go through this process, and even just look at different options. For my wife and I, fear almost won for us. Fear almost took over. I mean, we were researching franchises for a long time, and my wife and I were thinking about, should we buy a franchise or should we start a business? And do we really want to invest this much money? How are we going to fund it? And how are we going to pay for it? Is it worth the risk? And we had a lot of stuff that bubbled up for us. And ultimately, we wind up taking the leap. And I talk about that more in some of my other videos. So if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my channel below, because I really give you some of this insider juicy stuff from a business owner and franchise owner perspective of what it's actually like owning a franchise and what are some of the challenges and what are some of the things that come up. And I give you some really great how-to videos. And no one else on YouTube is creating videos like this online. But we had a lot of stuff come up. And ultimately, we wind up taking the leap and jumping into the fear, but we almost didn't. We almost didn't. And if we did not make that decision, the trajectory of our life and what it looks like now, and our finances and our experience in business and what we would have created and other opportunities that have wind up opening up because of it, they never would have happened. It's frightening and shocking to think about how close we were to not doing it. Not only to not doing it, but to almost even going down the road of starting our own business, which that probably would not have worked out well because we were both so busy. But if you continue to let fear, the fear of failure, the fear of unknown, the fear of losing money, if you let that continue to drive your decisions in your life, And in looking at owning a franchise or buying a franchise or making a transition or quitting your job or starting a new business, you're never going to be fulfilled, you're never going to be challenged, and you're never going to truly accomplish those big goals that you're looking to accomplish. Now, because of this channel, I talk to a lot of you every day. You guys email me, and if you have any questions, email me at info@tariqjohnson.com. But you send me emails. I talk to a lot of you over the phone, and I understand what you're dealing with in this journey or process of trying to figure out if you should own a franchise, or even if a franchise is even what makes sense for you. Should you start your own business? Can you start something part-time? Can you do something where you generate passive income? You want to leave your job, but should you? The idea of it's scary. You have benefits there. It's safe. It's comfortable, but you're frustrated. I get it. And what happens is a lot of you feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck, and you're scared to make a decision. Not only are you scared to make a decision, but you're scared to make the wrong decision. Like, how do you pick the right business? How do you even find the right business? These are all things that I go over in my videos, and these are all things that I walk my clients through literally step by step, because it's like owning a franchise and owning a business and taking that leap. It's like a roller coaster ride. I mean, it's just like this ride of emotions, and you've got to be able to manage that process, because when you're in the middle of riding a roller coaster ride, if you jump off in the middle of the ride, woo, that's gonna be very dangerous, and it's not gonna end well. So sometimes the best thing you can do is just hold on tight and just hold on for the ride. Now, here's the thing, is that we have a pattern and habit of how we think and how we make decisions. So if you get confused often in your life and when you're going through things, when you start looking and searching for a franchise, or even once you make the leap and you own a franchise, you're gonna get confused often. If you have a pattern and habit of being overwhelmed, you're gonna feel overwhelmed often. If you have a lot of fear and insecurity around money and you're really conservative around money, your fears around money are really gonna bubble up to the surface for you. And so for my wife and I, there were a few key things that came up. Was, what if we make the wrong decision? What if owning a franchise is a huge mistake? What if we don't like it at all and we put and invested all of this money in and we're stuck? And then we have to try to sell the business. Would we even be able to sell it or get rid of it? What if we make a decision but we wind up choosing the wrong franchise that we don't really feel like is the right fit for us? What happens is this way of thinking and this belief, it leads to procrastination, it leads to indecisiveness, and it leads to actually never making a decision. And so, like, some of the clients that I work with, when this pattern comes up, sometimes the best thing you can do is make a decision. And even if it's not the right decision, you have to take progress over perfection. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to find the right business. There's always going to be aspects to the business that aren't quite perfect for you. I mean, think about the car that you drive, the home that you own, some of the clothes that you have, your job. There are aspects to it that just aren't perfect. The fear of losing money. Now, this is a big one. This is one of the really big ones with owning a franchise, is that a lot of the people that I talk to and that I coach, they have this real deep fear about money. And a franchise is going to bring that up, because usually it takes a lot of capital to get a franchise open. I've had my investment licenses for 13 years, and this came up a lot when I would work with clients. I work with thousands of clients, helping them invest their money and plan for their retirement and figure out their financial situation. I had clients that missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in gains and growth because of their fear around money. They were so scared that they wanted to be in the safest investment that had no possibility of losing, and they might only earn 2% a year because of that, even though I would try to get them to at least take a portion of that money and put it into a portfolio and show them, look, it will go up and down, but over the long term, it's got a track record. And their fear of losing money prevented them from actually making money. And so for you, you've got to be able to handle and overcome this fear of losing money. If so, you'll be safe, you'll never lose money. But if you never take that risk, which is a calculated and educated risk, then you're never going to have the opportunity to reap the rewards. So another one that comes up is not feeling like you know the answer. And so what this tends to lead to is a pattern of feeling confused, feeling stuck, feeling overwhelmed. And that leads to, again, more indecision and just not taking action and just kind of spinning your wheels. This leads to confusion, feeling overwhelmed, and feeling stuck. Those are some of the most frustrated feelings. It's almost like having your foot on the gas, but having your foot more firmly on the brake, and you're like, I'm putting my foot on the gas, but I'm not getting anywhere, right? And you're just constantly spinning your wheels. And it's something that is going to come up for you. And look, I know this video is not like really any of the other videos that I made. They're usually very how-to, into very specific and tangible details of what it's like to own a franchise and what to look for, what mistakes not to make. So make sure you stick with me here, because this is the most important video that I've ever recorded, and you need this as the foundation when you're looking and watching my other videos, because at the end of the day, you can have the best business right in front of you. You could have a $1 million business right in front of you, but if you are not able to actually pull the trigger, invest in the business because you're too scared, and you're scared of losing money, and you procrastinate, and you're indecisive, and you feel stuck, and you feel overwhelmed, and you feel confused, then you don't actually move forward. And you could be this close, to living the life that you've always imagined, and finally leaving your job and quitting and firing your boss, and being able to have that dream life that you've always wanted, of creating financial freedom and being able to travel and buy your dream car and your house, and just that feeling of being like you're your own boss. I bring all of this up because recently I started taking on a lot more business coaching clients around franchising and people that are making transitions into the business world. And what happens is that a lot of our time, although we are spending time actually researching businesses, finding those businesses, doing the due diligence on those businesses and looking at how they performed financially and making sure we ask the right questions and talk to franchisees, all those tactical, strategic things are super important. But what happens is we actually wind up spending more time on this stuff, because we go over businesses and then it's like right down their alley. It's exactly what they want, but for some reason they're stuck and not able to make a decision. But here's the thing, in business, that costs you. So as an example, if you're too indecisive, this happened to me recently. I speak from experience here, is that this stuff still comes up for me, and it's a challenge for me on a daily basis to constantly push through, make decisions, and get out of these habits and patterns. I mean, I have a business coach that I work with so that they can help guide me through that process. But recently I was looking at an existing franchise to buy, and I was very interested in the franchise, and I just felt a little bit nervous about the franchise overall. And I had a lot of conversations with the franchisor and with the franchise owner, and there were other people looking at the business, and I missed the boat. It was too late. Someone else made an offer for the business and wind up buying the business, and I missed out on the opportunity. So what happens is, these things in business, not only does it cost you the opportunity to get into your business, but it can cost you once you actually own your franchise and your business. There could be an opportunity to go to an event where you could grow your business, but if you wait too long to make the decision because it's a couple $1,000 and you don't know if it's going to pay off and you just want to kind of mull it over, your competitor could have already booked it and now you're not allowed at the event. There's all sorts of things that happen. I mean, you could miss the deadline for an opportunity that could be a game-changing opportunity for your business. Or you could be too scared to hire a new employee, and hiring that employee would actually free up more time for you that would actually help you generate even more sales in your business. So these are some of the ways that these emotions and fears actually cost you money in business. And so you've got to build that habit of taking action in spite of fear. Taking action even though you don't feel like you have all the information. Taking action even though you don't feel like you're ready. You know, what I tell a lot of my clients that I work with, and just the people that I talk to on a daily basis, from you guys that reach out to me here on YouTube, is that business is 80% mental and 20% strategy. Here's why. It doesn't matter if you have the best strategy in the world. If you can't get yourself to follow through on that strategy, it means nothing. Think about it. If you're looking to get in better shape, I'm training for a Spartan race right now, a 6-mile Spartan race. So if your desire is to get in better shape, it's to lose weight, to be more fit, the strategy component is what to eat, your workout plan, what to do, all those things. That's easy. You could go online right now and Google and find a million different workouts, a million different nutrition plans, but it's the 80%. Can you follow through on it? Can you get yourself to actually wake up early in the morning and actually commit to the workout? Can you stay disciplined and follow through? And when it gets hard, do you continue? So on and so forth. So if you've made it this far in this video, I want to commend you. I am going to continue to do this in my videos because what that means is that you're a finisher in your life. There are a lot of people that start things. They start a business, they start going down a different path, and then they never finish, they never complete it. How you do anything is how you do everything. The fact that you're just completing watching this video says a lot about your character. And so continue to build this habit of being a finisher in your life. It will prove to be very helpful for you. And so if you want help navigating through this journey and this process of owning a franchise and being a franchise owner, or just making a transition out of your job and getting into business overall, then make sure that you download my free 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. Because in less than an hour, you can go through that blueprint and you can self-service yourself and figure out a plan in order to make that happen. And after you do that, if you need additional help and you need some push and you need some one-on-one coaching, then reach out to me, send me an email, or submit my coaching application, and we'll see if it's a good fit to work together. I don't work with everyone. I only work with a limited amount of clients, but I really want to see you succeed. That's why I created this YouTube channel, and I'm looking forward to talking about this stuff more. I love talking about the strategy of business, the nuts and bolts. I will never stop doing that, but I'm gonna always start to weave in the mental and emotional side of things, because again, if you don't master this, then you can't master the strategy. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you like this style of video or don't like this style of video, drop me a comment below and tell me your thoughts no matter what it is. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe and hit that little like button. The YouTube algorithm loves when people hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.